Hello! In this video I will show how to turn coffee into pure caffeine. For the extraction you need coffee filters, coffee of course, dichloromethane and sodium carbonate. I'm also using a distillation setup to get the dichloromethane back at the end. Dichloromethane is pretty hazardous. I'm using a self-made fume extractor to not let any vapors into the room, but that's on my own risk. Usually it's better done in a fume hood or outside. Step 1 is to just make coffee. I don't have any filter holder, so I just stuffed the filter into a beaker. Into the filter I put as much coffee as I can. I also weighed out 4 grams of sodium carbonate and put it into the filter as well. After that, boiling water is poured into the filter. When this is cooled down, we can move on to the next step. I measured out 40 milliliters of DCM, however I did it with 2 times 20 milliliters. This is poured into our gross sodium carbonate coffee mix. The heavier DCM will sink to the bottom. I stirred it around to dissolve as much caffeine as possible. I then separated the DCM from the coffee by just using a pipette. A separatory funnel would have been better, but I don't have one. I then got rid of the residual water in the graduated cylinders. Now the DCM has to be evaporated, so I set up a distillation. I spaced the round bottom flask with a bit of aluminum foil. Dichloromethane boils at 39.6 degrees Celsius, so it doesn't need much heat. Again, I put the fan or fume extractor behind the distillation as well, so there's no DCM escaping into the room. When everything is distilled over, the still unclean caffeine is left in the round bottom. I dissolved it with a bit of water and transferred it into a beaker. After the water is also evaporated, there are 2 options to purify it: recrystallization or resublimation. I decided to do the resublimation, so I covered it with aluminum foil and stuck a test tube with cold water into it. The whole thing is then heated to the sublimation point of caffeine, to at least 178 degrees Celsius. You can see how the caffeine is sublimating and then resublimating on the side of the beaker, while the impurities stay at the bottom. The caffeine can then be scraped off the walls. The caffeine was still a bit yellow, but there were also pretty white areas, so maybe resublimating it again makes it more pure. Until next time, bye!